Hello! This Dates and Cakes episode is a little bit of a roast. And I figured I'd finally give you a recipe since the whole premise of the blog is dates and cakes. And this is roasting a guy or maybe a couple guys that I just really needed to, I did not want s'more of them and needed to cut it off. Because time is your most valuable resource besides vodka, but that can be renewed. There's liquor stores everywhere. Yeah, just needed to do that. So I'm going to teach you how to do a s'mores mocha without the marshmallows because I hate marshmallows. And why settle for something that I don't want, especially when I express that. So here we go, like Mario says. So getting your espresso, water goes in here. And I'll just tell my little tale. So, I was not wasting, because I was not drunk, but I utilized my time with this guy that started out, there was already a couple things that, like, weren't really my cup of tea with this guy, but we had a really good connection, I felt, and what do you have in any relationship, like friendship, bosses, whatever, if you don't have a connection? So, he was like really intellectually stimulating, which is kind of my thing. But yeah, I used all this time and, we talked over a time difference. It was a pretty drastic time difference. Wasn't in the States, just saying. And we got really deep with stuff and like, you know, talked about, like, love languages and stuff like that, and, like, mine is words of affirmation, and physical touch. I'm a big hugger. Hug to all the fans. Compliment me. Just save his life. And I was not fishing for them or anything like that, but when you're into someone, wouldn't you want them to be into you too? So that was kind of the thing. Yeah, so it got to the point where he called me a cute person. What? So, oh gosh. So, obviously I had to share that with like 7 of my closest friends, and their responses killed me. It was the greatest thing because it was just like, I'm sorry, what? So like you can't even be a female? Like you just have to be a person and you have to, I was like, man, he's taking 2020 seriously. Putting some cocoa in here because she in love with the cocoa. So, and s'mores have chocolate in them, so. And I put a dash of Saigon cinnamon, which gives it a real kick. So yeah, so, and I don't know, I mean, I've dated guys that were high all the time, so, like, that was a problem eventually, because I was like, I don't know if he likes me sober, you know, that Evanescence call me when you're sober, but, so, I don't know, but this one just, it got to the point where I was like, what are you bringing to the table at this point? We met and it was really cute and like it was like romantic because it was in Scotland and like this other guy was like also interested. Actually 2 guys were. One was from San Francisco, which I was like, get out of my face. I was like, you're American, I don't have time for you. He was really cute. He was the cutest of all 3 actually. And then there was an Irish guy that was from Cork, so he's very hard to understand, but like I like a challenge, so that was kind of cool. It was like interpreting. And then yeah, and then there's this guy and don't even have a name for him. In my blog, I'll give him some sort of name. But he kissed me under a spotlight, a street light. Thinking of J HUD. And in Scotland, and it was great. And from there, I did what girls do, many of them. If you don't, like, props to you and teach me your ways. But I romanticized these things and, like, just was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, put in all this effort to, like, keep talking and, like, hours of conversation and all this stuff, and then yeah, so and it was just really funny because it's like I was going through some of my friends' messages and like my friends even are like, oh girl, that outfit's cute, or like, oh girl, like, man, you're so funny, or like whatever, like compliments. Like I just don't, the world is tough enough, so like why not build people up? And I guess like that's the type of person I am, so like I don't know, but I feel like it's like an ingredients list that you find like on a package or like when you're making something. So like your espresso, your marshmallows. If you don't like marshmallows, then why make a s'mores latte? Because I do what I want and because because I can omit it. But with people, you can't really do that. So, after we do our espresso, I'll pour this in a cup and then froth this baby. So we'll call this guy Mr. Compliments 2. And he was kind of the one that won the battle, I guess, because I was talking to him most of the night in Scotland. We were in Edinburgh, and which was like one of my favorite cities. I really like it a lot. And oh gosh, he made the mistake of, and this should have been my. See, and that's the thing. We like get these hints and these. Some people call them red flags, whatever. About people that we want to, spend our time with, but then we get stubborn sometimes. We're like, no, like, let me just look past it. No big deal. There's a big flashing sign. That looks gorgeous. And, yeah, so I did that with this one. But he tried to get me to go to his hostel, which, I mean, that's a thing in other countries. Like, why not? Why not, go to the hostel and, live your best life while you're traveling. Sorry, I disappeared. I'm back. Can't get rid of me that easily. And, but he was in a pod. I don't know if you've ever seen those, but they're really fucking tiny. And, yeah. So I was like, not that kind of girl. Regardless of what happened in Glasgow. I'm not going to talk about it right now. But you want to keep up with it. And while you want to keep putting in the effort, $10 a month for Netflix or what have you, every month. Frothing right now. And, I don't know. It just wasn't one of those things that it was like, why? So, I think it's important to go through all your ingredients. And if you don't like something, you don't have to settle because there's so many subscriptions and there's so many, I don't know. I feel like it's so easy to be like, oh my gosh, but I have to have one. Like, I don't want to be sitting idle. Then don't sit idle. Find other things to do, like making s'mores lattes without marshmallows. But I think I'm hoping that I learned from this lesson since all the other ones I have not. So, and there's a big difference between dating a boy and a man. And I think all three of the ones, I don't know, I didn't really talk to the San Francisco one, but all three of the ones in Edinburgh were boys. And the one in Glasgow was a boy too. But I had no intention of keeping up with him, so. Now you've got your s'mores. And it is chocolatey and delicious. And yes, I'm using a Christmas mug. Cheer and beer should be all year